It is Wednesday night again. This is the Wednesday night mouse party. And tonight we've got gun websites. How you doing, gun websites?
Oh, I thought it was Thursday. I thought it was in the Porcupine Party. Oh, well, I guess I'll stay since I'm here.
I'm very happy to have you. And Gizzard Gary, fresh back from goals. Goals! How you doing?
I have returned. I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
And Guns and Barbecue. How is you tonight?
I am doing well, thank you. I could be doing better because I thought this was a porcupine party also. But now knowing that it's not, I'd really like to know who keeps poking me.
I don't know. There might be a little prick here, but that's a different part.
Nice.
Oh, let me get the banner going. I remembered the banner tonight. There we go. At the bottom of the screen, there's an email address, untacticalfoss@gmail.com, and a link for the Discord server. It's a place to hang out, chit chat, share pictures, memes, stuff like that. You can get a hold of me there, and probably most of these guys. You can get a hold of them too, should you want to. And pinned to the top of the chat is the link for this week's poll, a candy poll. So if you haven't voted in the poll, head over there and vote.
Where'd that poll come from?
I was trying to think of a poll and I was eating candy. So.
What candy were you eating?
Gummy worms. And
That's
chocolate.
interesting, seeing as those are not on the poll.
Do you eat candy that you feel like, or do you eat candy that's open so you get it for free?
Candy that I feel like.
And the
I'm
official-
hesitant. Do you mean candy like samples, or how do you mean?
No, like, oops, somebody knocked this bag of candy off the shelf and now it's open and I can't sell it, so I have to put it in the back and throw it away. Like, wink, wink. In the break room.
That would be theft. I was at home. I think. I don't know. I might have been on break. I don't remember. I don't remember how I or when I made this poll. I don't know. What's with all the questions? I'm not on trial here. So if you haven't voted, head over there and vote. So how was goals, Gary? Looked like fun.
It was fun. Should have been there.
Well, I would have liked to go, but I can kind of only do like one thing a year, and Thunder in the Prairie was the thing this year. So,
Well, okay. That was a good time.
so tell me everything you did in detail.
Well, how long a show do you have tonight?
So was it 2 days or 3 days, or how long was it?
4 days,
4 days.
counting the range day. The first day, Thursday, was the range day, and then Friday was media day. So we had all the exhibitors to ourselves for one day. And then 2 days of the show itself, which was Saturday and Sunday. So
How does it compare or contrast to SHOT Show?
considerably smaller. It's more along the lines of NRAM in that it is more of a trade show where people actually have wares that are for sale versus SHOT Show, which is completely a product showcase. Plus, also the general public can attend, providing they're GOA members, which they can join at the door. So very much like NRAM in that respect. Whereas SHOT Show is limited to the industry and media. So
What is
that's
it,
a
like
much
half the
smaller
size?
scale. What's that?
Half the size of NRA?
Yeah, probably about half.
And then NRA is like a third the size of SHOT Show.
Yeah.
Number of people scale like it's half the number of people that was at NRA show.
Well, I don't know what the attendance numbers were. That's a thing, or even what they were expecting. But being a smaller venue in a smaller city, I would imagine considerably less.
Patch situation.
What's that?
How is the patch situation?
Oh, really not that many patches. More stickers than patches.
They weren't out, or you were asking and they didn't have them even when you asked? Because you know what I mean. There's like two different ways that you can. There's ones that are out. And you ask about.
Pretty much. I mean, pretty much even when you asked, they either had very few or they didn't have any at all.
It's a lot to ask though to make a whole patch run for an event.
Well, I think a lot of these vendors probably buy the bulk of their promotional materials at the end of the year, the beginning of the following year,
Yeah,
in
for sure.
preparation for SHOT, and then what they have left they use for all the other shows. I had places like, for example, Night Vision, which normally has a lot of patches and stuff like that, but they brought a bunch of old stuff that they had in stock because they were pretty much out of everything else.
Was Carr there? Carr Thompson, Auto Ordnance.
Core Arms was there. I remember that for sure.
Okay. Because they got their for Outer Arms Freedom Festival coming up, so that means they did both.
Yep.
Or they're doing both. Are you going to that barbecue? The Rod of Iron Freedom Festival?
Probably not. I would love to, but trying to get some things paid down at the moment. Got taxes due either next month or in October. I'm not sure. I'm waiting for them to come out. I shouldn't say that they're due. They're definitely not due to the end of the year, but waiting for the piece of the paper from the government coming and saying, "Oh, you owe us this much," and so I pay that, which, like I said, would be September, October. I'm not sure when. And like I said, just trying to get some things paid down before the holiday season. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be in the cards for me this year.
Is that state taxes?
No, property taxes.
Oh, yeah, property tax kind of sucks. Do you do one lump sum, or like for us? I think we can do it in one lump sum, or they'll send us two bills during the year, so it's split. How do they do it for you?
They split it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just can't remember which month it usually arrives. I'm pretty sure it's September.
Yeah, I don't ever remember either. So let's Vulcan Rumble is out there. He's out there first. And 2 Live Moo stopped by. X Adam 1 had asked on the Discords. He was looking at a 44 Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum. And the picture that he showed, it was actually, oops, that's a wrong button. I can show what he showed by showing the Discords.
Yay!
Give me just a second here to get her open. Oh. And I clicked on the wrong button, so there we go. It's loading up here. It'll take just a second. it's updating itself, of course, because I didn't have it open. I went down today and did a 4473. When I was talking about the 4473 the other day, I misspoke a little bit when I mentioned that it asked twice about are you going to get rid of this gun? You know, it's not the first question. It's the second question and the last question. So it still is yes, and then the rest are no.
Okay.
But there is that little change where it's asking you now, are you intending to, can't remember the wording exactly, but basically get rid of this or sell it. So here is the example that X-Atom 1 showed for the Smith & Wesson. It's engraved 44 Magnum. Oh. And he was asking, should I get this? Is it worth getting? Is it fun? Is it expensive?
Yes.
I said it's very fun and expensive.
I was just gonna say price is all relative, so try and.
Can anybody else hear that noise?
I most certainly can.
Yes. I think it was G-Webs.
So hopefully he'll be back here in just a second.
But yes, definitely get it. You will have so much fun, you won't know what to do with yourself. And I'm going to be glass half full and say price is only relative. Like, expensive to who? So.
Well, and he asked in the Discord, should I buy this gun? Well, the answer is always yes. By default.
Yeah. But then when you put 2 4s behind it, like, that yes just gets exacerbated.
Looks like G-Webs is having technical difficulties. He's trying to come back, but his equipment doesn't seem to want to play along. Vulcan Rumbles. Oh, Mr. Bob Dabalina's out there. He said that's pretty. Oh, I had him for a second. And Mr. Bob also said 44 Magnum is a beast. It's kind of expensive. If you got the price of admission, go for it. I do enjoy shooting mine. I've got the Super Blackhawk with I've got the 7.5-inch barrel, which is kind of big, but there we go. I got you back.
Does this work now?
Yeah, your mic is a little wonky, but you're back. But when I first bought it, it seemed huge, but now that I've had it a while, it doesn't seem that big.
That's what she said.
And 7.5-inch barrel is actually really nice if all you're going to do is target shoot, because that's a lot of weight out on the end of that gun. It's going to help mitigate some of that recoil from the 44 mag. Yeah, just it might seem a little expensive, but again, for the amount of fun you're going to have, it's going to feel like dollar for fun, like the cheapest gun you got. It's that much fun. I've got like 5 of them.
I do really enjoy taking mine to the range, and yeah, with mine is because with that long barrel, it's heavy and helps soaks up some of that recoil. And no one that I've had shoot it really has had any problems. I mean, I don't have like Fort Scott ammunition, nothing super powerful.
Yep.
But
I was just going to say, you just did a video with a brand new shooter who fired your 44 mag, and if I remember correctly, that was one of their favorite guns after that.
yeah, and it kind of at the end of the day, I think he wanted to shoot it again, and I think it was like the last 4 rounds that we had, and loaded it, gave it to him, told him shoot it one-handed. And I told him it's not going to be as bad as you think, and he had no problem. There's your body mechanics are a little different when you're shooting one-handed. As long as you don't lose your grip, your arm movement takes up some of that recoil. So just don't spike your forehead with a hammer, and you're all good.
That is one thing I have found. Not recently, but back in the day when I could see, I find that I shoot revolvers better one-handed than two.
I have not compared, and I don't really shoot a lot one-handed. I should shoot more, and I need to shoot more offhand, which is something I don't do. I don't make it down to the range as much as I used to.
Same here.
Do you practice offhand, Gary?
Usually towards the end of my session.
I remember years ago, G23 challenged me to offhand competition, cold. And I did win it, but I realized, God, I need to practice this more often.
My uncle and a couple of my cousins and I would often shoot offhanded just because, like, when we would go to the range, we would always have competitions with each other, who could get close to the bullseye. And a lot of times we were at, private property for the range. So, some of the smallest stuff we could find, we were trying to hit. Didn't matter. Then inevitably it was always, an offhand shot, whether it be with a pistol, rifle, shotgun, doesn't matter. Sometimes all the above. It's a lot of fun, especially when you can make it into a competition either with yourself or with somebody else.
I do practice one-handed when I dry fire practice. But that's usually I'll end up doing that after I clean a gun. Then I'll sit there, work the action, and then just pick out a spot and then work on not, jerking it.
She said. My microphone work now?
Yep. Sounds good.
I had to unplug my USB.
XM1 said, I never practice offhand carry. I just assume that my other arm and hand will come through like a hero at the crucial moment in the movie.
You don't have to use your other hand. You can use your regular hand upside down. That's the same thing.
I've never tried that, but I've never been anywhere to try that, where I could try that without getting in trouble.
Does Gizzard recognize this one? It's this one that he's gotten from Kaiser. Is he still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Do you have it?
I think so.
Dang it. It's okay. It's got a button lock. I got this one today. You know what they call this one?
I don't remember. There's so many of them anymore.
It makes sense once you look at it, and if it was in red.
Okay.
I don't know if we get that close.
Mr. Bob's asking, is it the
Yep.
pepper?
Chili pepper.
Is it red hot?
No, I think it's supposed to look. And once I was like looking at it, I think it's supposed to look like a chili pepper because the other ones are red. This one's purple, but
Oh, okay.
I think it's just supposed to look like a chili pepper. It was a button lock, so I figured I'd buy it. Hopefully that'll get Kaiser looking at me. Like, oh, look, that guy has a Kaiser over there. Got this one too. Since Kaiser bought a super expensive one. What do you think this one costs? Made in USA.
Ooh.
Retail or what you paid for it?
Well, I definitely didn't pay retail. It's neat because it's got a liner lock, but it's on the back. So you can just pinch this and it closes really easy. $178 or something like that on sale. I think it's $186 and then $178 on sale right now. Gizzard doesn't like the Spydercos. Does anybody like Spydercos or just me?
I don't like the look of them.
I love the blades. They're kind of like, what do you call them? Super utility blades. Like, what do you call these things?
They just don't work for my hands. I can't flick them open.
Yeah, they take a little bit of goofing around. And they're all a little different. I definitely like my Axis lock the best. And this takes some getting used to. But they're just so well made. And they got so many little details and stuff that make them fun. I'll probably sell this one. This one, I don't love this one or nothing, but it was neat. And I got it at a good price. Oops. You probably have one of these.
Which one is it?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the box. Praxis.
I got the
Wooden
mini. I have a mini Praxis. I don't have the full size.
It's okay, except for the liner lock. So if anybody wants this one, let me know. I got it like a third price, I think. I like the blade. It's kind of like what I like about the Spyderco blades. You know, just a big flat grind, is that what they call that?
Mm-hmm.
And what I figured out is at least on a liner lock, when it's a flipper, when you smash into it, it can't really get you because the flipper is going to come down and hit your finger. So
Right.
until you let go, like, you're really not going to get cut unless you're really not paying attention. I still don't like them, but I do like this wooden handle. It's growing on me. I really wish I had a button wooden handle. And I got one more. It's just some no name, unless you know the name of it. It's got this cat logo on it. Or maybe it's a... And then it's a D2, it says. I just thought the blade was cool looking. It's not quite a Tonto. It's kind of like a sword tip, huh?
That's kind of an
Yeah.
interesting look.
It's a little wide. It's like a little chunky. So on something like this, it's a little chunky. It is a liner lock, so I'm not going to keep it or nothing. But where it's so square and it's kind of chunky, was this something that you would take to a grinder or some sandpaper to it? You know, take the clip off, maybe even take the handles off, and then make them contoured. Is that the right word? Because this, I think, would be a better knife if it was, you know, these grips are kind of, I'm going to just say cheesy. They're not like super well worked or whatever. But I do like this. I don't know what they call this stuff.
What do you think about the thumb wheel on it?
The thumb wheel. Oh, this.
Yeah.
In some ways, I like them because they're, you know, better than the hole, I think. They're better than a slot or a hole. But I do like a peg better. Every time I've had one, they fall off. But I've only had inexpensive knives with them. And I'm thinking this is, you know, low, you know, a well-made, inexpensive knife. This is not a super good one, I don't think. But because it's a screw, right? And it ends up coming off for the ones. I've only had like maybe 3 like this. Why do you like them?
I don't know. My big one has one, which makes it nice because it makes it easy to open. Whoop.
Is that a Ned whatever? Ned Foss?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But any relation?
No. But for like this one, it makes it really easy, you know, to catch with your thumb and open. I would prefer this over the thumb nicks, the little slot. Mr. Bob said, I've been carrying a Buck Prince 503 for over 30 years now. It was a gift from my fishing partner.
Oh, shit. Too bad Woods isn't in here. I'm going to go back to the thing. Look at this. You seen one of these? Here's your fancy Bucks come in a box like this. Edge of a Legend. Magnet up front. You know which one this is yet? Can you even imagine? Definitely not my kind of knife. I only got it because
112.
What?
112.
I don't know really.
No, it's a fixed blade.
I see that now.
So it says on here. It is a shit. 105, is that right? It's neat, I think, because it's got this little extra thing going on at the tip there. Definitely not my style. I only got it because it was, I think I got it for like half price. And I haven't had one of these before, and I wanted to get a video of it.
That is the Pathfinder, is what they call it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that a scratch on it or just like a mar on the other side?
Well, that's a good question. I need to get a, if only I had a piece of microfiber cloth. Do you mind if I use this microfiber out of that Praxis or whatever it is? I'm doing it anyway. Is that what these things are supposed to do, is get rid of this kind of stuff? Or am I crazy? Or should I have to put something on there?
No, you can do it
I
dry.
think it's just smush. I don't think it's, I think it's coming off, isn't it? It's a little bit awkward in front of the camera, but I'm pretty sure it's coming off, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it's gone
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's still there a little bit, but I think if I squirted something on there, it'd be gone. I don't want to ruin this cloth. Anyway, I just saw this one, and I'm a sucker for buying knives. Oops, I think I bought this one last week, though.
I like the look of the Bucks.
I could see liking it. I just have, like, where was Barbecue talking about getting into, what are those things called? A collection. What'd you say you're going to get a collection of? The marine knife, K-bar.
Oh, the K-bars, yeah.
If I'm going to carry something like this, I'd rather be a K-bar. I mean, I can see this. Like, this is going to be better for fish and stuff. Maybe for, I've never really taken apart a duck or a chicken or anything. I'll bet you this is way better for that. And if you're just going to sit down at the table and eat with this, like this is a better knife for that kind of stuff. It's kind of somewhere between a butcher knife and a useful
I
knife.
don't know. For me, it kind of falls in the category of I like the way it looks, but it's not. I don't want to say it's not one I would own, but it's
Now,
not
what
one
do
I
you
would
think it
carry.
costs? What do you think this one costs? Gizzard knows, right?
I know what it normally goes for. Yeah.
170.
Oh, yeah, over 100.
I forget. I don't know if I even found it on Amazon because it's not exactly the one that's on Amazon isn't exactly this one. But yeah, it's like over 100 something.
On Amazon, it's 80.
80?
Mhm.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I know it's getting added to my cart.
Oh, we can look at it. Hang on here. Let me gotta close that. There we go. Look at our poll. I almost forgot to do the poll. So the poll was, choose a candy: gummy bears, orange slices, M&Ms, gumdrops, or diabetes. Says no candy. This one was one we really wish I had more options, but since I only have 5 slots, I had to choose 5 candies. M&Ms, 52%, which I figured M&Ms would take it. Gummy bears, 25%. Orange slices, 15%. Diabetes, 5%, and gumdrops 3%. So diabetes beat out gumdrops. And let me.
Gumdrops are kind of gross.
Save my comments. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, if for some reason if I don't do the newest comment first, it doesn't always show all the comments. Vanessa Kitty said gummy bears, but brownie fudge M&Ms are tasty. X Adam 1. I mean, you only put one candy option on this poll. Not sure it'll give great results. The goddamn bacon said there's only one answer to this. I don't know the answer, but there's only one. G Webb said chocolate hands down. Guns Barbecue from all the options, gummy bears. Write-in candidate, sweet tarts. And Gizzard Gary said obviously Slim Jim. Should have been on this list.
I was about to say, because I just thought of it, I was like, oh man, Midnight Range rule. So I redact my option of sweet tarts, and I would like to also write in meat stick.
I used to really like sweet tarts when I was younger.
I love those things, although the chewy ones, not nearly as good.
No.
Just
Or
ones that are like,
the large ones.
yeah, those ones kind of suck too.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just I mean the flavor is the same, but the being larger somehow messes it up.
Yeah, like I would like to be able to get sweet tarts in a bag, like M&Ms or Skittles or something. The idea that I can only get them in a little pouch that is like tearing open a gas station aspirin, and I get 3 little sweet tarts annoys the crap out of me.
Those are probably to like get your mouth watering if you're talking or doing something. You want to freshen your breath, something like that. Not for just eating.
Which M&Ms are best? The regular, the peanut, almond, some of the fancier ones like the
What's it
brownie?
called?
Peanut butter.
Buy a whole bunch of them and put them in a bowl together.
Peanut
you
butter
mix them
M&Ms.
up.
Is that a thing? Like
Dark
bridge
chocolate.
mix with M&Ms? I mean, is there a bad? There's probably only a couple that are gross. If there's like a licorice M&M, that would be bad. There's mint ones, I think.
There's been lots of flavors that have come and gone. I like either the regular or the almond. Peanut is okay. I don't care for peanut butter. So I don't
Yeah.
like the peanut one, or I don't like Reese's Pieces either.
Yeah, toenail was never very popular either for some reason.
Oh. Uh,
Is that coconut?
is there coconut? There's I
Probably.
did kind of like the crispy one that basically like mini Rice Krispies in them. The only problem is you get less of them in the package. So how often do you eat peanut butter M&Ms barbecue?
Very rarely. I have found that as I've gotten older, regular M&Ms are disgusting. The peanut M&Ms are all right. If I have an M&Ms now, though, it usually has to be the peanut butter ones. Reese's Pieces, much better than peanut butter M&Ms, though. I guess if I had to say, like, if the kids get a pack or two of peanut butter M&Ms at like Halloween, that's about it. And I mean, at that point, it's just the fun size ones.
Oh, there were. I don't know if they still have them, but there were dark chocolate M&Ms. I believe
Those are the best.
Yeah, for sure. Would be good.
What about Raisinets?
Yep, I'm all right with those.
What?
And there are dark chocolate Raisinets.
Yep.
I'll get those if I can find them. I don't know. There seems to be a lot of hate around raisins, especially around the gun community. At least the people that I hang out with.
Raisins can go fuck off, but if you're going to coat them in more chocolate than raisin, that's a different story. Then they just exist to hold a bunch of chocolate together, and it's okay.
I don't mind raisins, but the idea of coating them in chocolate disgusts me.
That I don't mind. But it's also not great chocolate. It's candy chocolate, so it is what it is.
Yep.
But it's in bridge mix or something. Like, I really like... Is it bridge mix where you just mix like malted milk balls and peanut chocolate coated peanuts and then chocolate coated raisins and some other stuff?
Something like that. I don't know.
Y'all never ate that as a kid?
Not bridge mix. Trail mix.
Yeah, I was gonna say trail mix I've had.
Oh no, that's totally different. That's like going out and doing stuff. Bridge mix is like candy that my aunt would put out, and it was, well, like I'm saying, it's like just a big bowl of these chocolates. Gizzard has to know what I'm talking about. And then you'd know by the shape of it what it was after a while, but some of them would be good. It'd be like walnuts or almonds or some big ass chocolate, or macadamia. No, not macadamia. What's that big ass one? Anyway, there'd be some goofy ones that looked good because they were big, and then you'd be like, oh man, it's a giant nut. Anyway, it was like a mix of different Raisinets and all those different things.
See, we're talking chocolate, and here comes Mr. Knives.
Yep,
yes. Man.
he heard us.
He wakes up, his computer's on, and he's there.
Chocolate.
I can't
He
believe
can
we
se-
left so much chocolate alone.
You can sense the chocolate.
I feel like Nas was sound asleep, and then chocolate got mentioned, and he's like, "There's a disturbance in the force."
Exactly.
Vulcan Rebel said yes. The dark chocolate M&Ms are still available. X Adam once raisins lost my vote when they associated themselves with California. If you know, you know. The guy that created the California raisins and the Noid, avoid the Noid. He went to I can never remember if it was my junior high or my high school, because he came back and he had, I think it was a California raisin, one of the ones, the props they used in the commercials, in a box, and I don't even remember what he talked about. I just remember him holding the box with the thing.
He's
inside.
way older than you, though.
Yeah. Because that would have been 80, somewhere around like 88, depending on which school it was. And I've looked him up, and I think there might have been more, him and somebody else created them. I don't remember exactly, because I tried to find which school it might have been, but it might have been the thing where, he was here for like a semester and then gone. Vulcan Rebel said he likes yogurt covered peanuts and raisins. I've never had them. They just never sounded appealing to me.
About the malted milk balls.
I do like those. Not as much as I used to.
They seem drier than they used to be.
I think that's the point, though. Especially if you put them in like ice cream or something.
M. Gabriel's out there. Good evening. Mr. Knives said no chocolate, going back to bed. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by.
See you, Knives.
Take it easy. Oh, you were saying you don't like the yogurt ones?
I've never had them. I've never tried them.
Oh, they taste like candy more than they taste like candy.
They are
I like white
awful.
chocolate. Kind of like white chocolate.
I don't know about that. White chocolate's pretty freaking good.
White chocolate?
They're different. They're different, but I mean, they have that. They taste like you're eating chocolate, is what I'm saying. But they're not chocolate.
I don't like white chocolate.
Love white chocolate.
I don't either.
There's got to be
Kind of the wax,
quality white chocolate.
It's
the
cocoa
waxy
butter, baby.
texture is I don't care for.
Like cheap white chocolate. Sucks.
Yeah, I've never had expensive white chocolate. I've had expensive chocolate, but not white chocolate.
Like
Have you had the red one yet? The ruby chocolate or whatever?
No. It sounds familiar. It might. I don't know if it was us
Looks
talking
pink.
some other time about it, but I've never tried it.
Whenever I was buying all the black chocolate or the dark chocolate,
Yeah.
I went and looked it up, and you could get it on Amazon, and I bought it, and then I totally forgot about it, and I found it like 8 months later, and it was all gross, so I never ate it. But I have to order it again. It costs like $11 a candy bar, though, so it's not like you're just going to buy it every day. I think it's going to end up being like white chocolate, very creamy, and it's red, so it can't have chocolate in it. It's like the berries are at a different point in the process or something when they make it. I mean, I don't know, where does white chocolate come from? It's probably somewhere in the spectrum there before it turns into dark chocolate.
Well, it's never chocolate is the problem.
White chocolate isn't?
No.
No, it's like cocoa butter and
Yeah, but
stuff.
isn't cocoa from chocolate? It's like just the fat part of the chocolate, and then they just don't add the whatever the dark part of the chocolate is.
Yeah.
Let's see what the Google says.
Now you're getting technical, and I don't know the answer.
I mean, I must have seen something that talks about how to make chocolate, but I think
Okay,
they
so white chocolate is confectionery typically made of sugar, milk, and cocoa butter, but no cocoa solids. It's pale ivory in color and lacks many of the compounds found in milk, dark, and other chocolates. Has a higher melting point. White chocolate is essentially milk chocolate devoid of cocoa solids.
And now you know.
I would have thought it would melt easier, not harder.
Oh, so white chocolate is technically not considered real chocolate. The FDA says it meets the standards to be considered chocolate.
No, I mean that's the FDA. I don't trust them.
Well, it's got cocoa in it, so I mean, it's just because it's not the same chocolate, it's still half chocolate, or it's still chocolate based.
Oh, it's kind of all over the place on who considers it chocolate. This website says what do they say? They were saying no. Oh, there's a lot of. I hate it when you look up, like you Google, and it gives you a little blurb, and then you go to that page and you can't find that little blurb and what they're
That
saying.
blurb is like 3/4 of the way down, and it's
Yeah.
a quote by somebody who's not even talking about what the article is about. That's why AI will take over search engines. You'll just go to your robot buddy, like C3PO or R2D2 or whatever flavor you want, little Twiggy guy, Dr. Thermopolis or whatever.
Thermopolis.
Yeah, you'll just ask him.
Oh, do you have your AI up and running? You can ask it what it thinks. Is it chocolate?
Oh, okay. Which one? I'll ask the one I pay for, ChatGPT.
Mr. Bob said girlfriend calls white chocolate an abomination and relegates its use to suntan lotion. I can take it or leave it.
So I typed in, what is the deal with white chocolate anyway? And it says, white chocolate is often the topic of debate because technically it isn't considered real chocolate by purists. It's got no chocolate solids, already said that. The ingredients, it's typically made from cocoa butter, sugar, milk, solids, and vanilla. The absence of the cocoa solids means that it has a creamier, sweeter taste and an ivory color. The legal definitions in different countries, what it can be labeled as chocolate or not, has to have 20% solids in some countries. The flavor profile is more delicate, and then the uses is often used in baking and desserts, like white chocolate isn't. So the deal with white chocolate is that while it's technically made from cocoa via cocoa butter, It lacks the key components that define traditional chocolate. This makes it both loved and misunderstood. Just like my milk later.
And Mr. Bob said, but then again, she likes chocolate as dark as her heart.
Dark chocolate is the way to go.
Yeah, dark chocolate is where it's at.
I'll ask the robot, why is dark chocolate so much better?
After getting into dark chocolate, I really don't care for milk chocolate.
No, not at all. Like when you made that M&M thing, I had to think about like even the dark chocolate ones are so sweet and candy-like that I have to eat the dark chocolate ones. I wouldn't like the M&M or the milk chocolate ones, but yeah, they wouldn't even be as good as just a dark chocolate bar or whatever.
Like Europe, they really don't like our chocolate, the milk chocolate, because they have more dark chocolate over there.
According to the robot, many people consider dark chocolate superior for several reasons. The rich flavor, the less sugar, the health benefits, the purity, and the versatility. In summary, dark chocolate's strong, complex taste, lower sugar context, and potential health benefits make it a favorite for those who appreciate a more refined chocolate experience. But that's the thing, dark chocolate it's got all kinds of antioxidants and stuff, and flavonoids, which get rid of your inflammations, your heart problems, and they make you feel better, so you're just happier.
X-Adam1 said he's eating M&Ms right now with peanuts because he's not a savage.
I thought it said sausage M&Ms. You probably eat them though. If they chopped up little pieces of beef jerky in there, would you eat those M&Ms?
No.
Yeah.
M&Ms are just bad in general.
But they melt in your mouth, not in your hands.
I've heard that.
You know what's good or better than M&Ms is the tinier M&Ms, the little tiny ones. They're better. They're more fun to eat.
Oh yeah,
Mini M&Ms are kind of sweet.
Or maybe for a minute. At least they're more interesting for a minute. I'm not gonna say I want to eat a ton of them, but
The Saint said everyone knows the worse something is for you, the better it tastes.
pretty much. Did Gizzard stop by that Uranus place?
I didn't go down that road.
Oh. Would you go through Arkansas?
No, I went through Missouri, but not on I-44.
How can you go through? How can you even go through Missouri? I thought there's only one road through Missouri.
How can you be that close to Uranus and not go?
Oh, I know why. Because you didn't come from Tulsa.
That's correct.
I'm only ever coming from Tulsa. Okay.
How could you be that close to Uranus and not try the fudge?
He wasn't that close, so he's saying. So, wow, why is this thing coming in so weird?
That's what she said.
For some reason, it's showing me when I'm trying to do Google Maps, it's showing me every road available instead of just, like generic states or whatever. It's showing me like every road in the United States. I got to screen share this because it's so weird. I've never seen it do this before. Like I was trying to zoom in on wherever you're at. I can't even tell where the states are. It's showing me every single road highlighted. What's up with that? Are we getting attacked or something?
I don't know.
That's what it looks like from space if every single road had a highlight on it, I guess. I don't know how many roads they have back east. That's way too many roads. Why are you hogging all the pavement? No wonder you got weird atmosphere, weird environment, weird temperatures. You gotta look how many roads you got. I don't know how I glitched into this, but it makes it very difficult to see anything.
Vulcan Rumbles, Berlin Airlift dropped Hershey milk chocolate bars. They're still the most favorite in Berlin. And X-Adam1 said they helped boost morale for soldiers during World War II and basically saved the war.
Oh, I bet you they were awesome back then. Was I not screen sharing before? Sorry.
No.
This is what's happening whenever I try to zoom in.
Yeah.
See, like I can't even tell where anything is. Like I literally can't even tell where the border is between Missouri and Kansas there. And then I zoomed out and I'm like, look at all the roads over here. We have some roads back here. Like we're not wasting everybody's time. All the tax money is roads.
That's kind of a good representation of the population density, east versus west.
I guess so.
The majority of the west is public land.
You can see where there's some mountains and stuff, and they couldn't cram a road in there enough. But then everywhere else, they're like, oh no, we can cram roads in there. How much data is this to show me every single road instead of just giving me the states or whatever? You know, normally you'd see the states, right? Maybe a couple of highways.
Looks like you threw a handful of ramen at the screen.
Anyway, I thought that was weird. Hopefully it'll glitch out and quit doing that. It's probably not helping my bandwidth either.
Vulcan Rumble said, looking at a British wheel system on a map of Boston.
Yeah, I went to Albuquerque for a rally, and I'd been to Albuquerque before, but I never bothered to go down to their state house or whatever it is. So I went there for this rally, and it was the roads and everything are from the olden days, so they're barely big enough for like a wagon, and they're all tiny and weird. And I was thinking, man, this is horrible, right? Like there's no way to get there, and it was just a real cluster trying to park and then walk to this place. And that's got to be like everywhere back east, right? Like all the New England stuff, they cherish all the like old streets and stuff. They don't tear all that out. Out here, it's all suburban sprawl. Like everything was, you know, hey, we got plenty of room. You know, make the streets wider and, you know, put the suburbs way out there. Back east, everything's just on top of each other, on top of those old roads that the pilgrims were using and stuff.
X Adam 1 said Bugs Bunny has been to Albuquerque. I wonder if G Webs has met him.
No. Oh, I meant Santa Fe. I said Albuquerque. Albuquerque's a normal town. I meant Santa Fe. Their capital.
So when you look up directions for a place, do you look at it and then you're ready to go, or how in depth do you look? Like I will obsess over it and look street view from this angle, that angle.
I mean, what are we talking about? Like if I got to go park there with the van, I'll typically take a look if I've never been there before, because with street view, I can figure out, you know, where I'm going to be able to find a good parking space, because my van's a little long. I want a parking space that, you know, I'm not going to have to, I can't go to a compact car spot with it. So if I'm going up to Phoenix or something, I'll do that. I'll street view it.
I will sometimes almost get down to street view the whole route to familiarize myself with the route.
I don't do that unless there's something. Well, I guess it depends on where I'm going. But I haven't done that in a long time, I don't think, because I know everywhere in Tucson. Driven everywhere like 4 times. Where you're at, you haven't driven down. How long have you lived there? You haven't driven down like every street. You don't know like the whole everywhere. There might be a couple of like housing places I didn't turn into where they have all dead ends and stuff. Like, you know, some builder built like a little housing complex. I haven't been to every one of those, but I've been to like every major street and every major place in town. Like I can't find any place in Tucson that's going to surprise me. I mean,
I
thanks.
I still will, even if it's someplace that I'm kind of familiar with.
Oh, okay. Because Street View isn't that accurate. Like, it's not going to tell you, like, you know, something's under construction or something. Well, that's not true. It might tell you about traffic issues. Huh? Like, it'll tell you if there's a bridge being worked on and there's a detour or whatever.
Oh, I just don't. I don't know. I just need to know. I need.
Do you leave it running? Like, when you go somewhere, do you type it in, like, so and so address and then have the robot, turn 2 miles, you're going to be turning right, turn right, turn right. And then you turn right and it goes, okay, now go straight for another 2 miles and then turn left.
Yeah. For like in town, probably not. But if I'm going to another town, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I don't want to have to look at signs and stuff, or be surprised, or not worry about which lane I'm supposed to be in and that kind of thing. Especially in Phoenix, or if I'm anywhere else really that I'm not familiar with.
And I'll use the Google Maps on my phone, and then the plug it into the USB in the car, and it'll show up on my
Your car TV.
Well, I don't have GPS in the car, but it'll the Android Auto, so it'll talk to it, and it'll show me on my speedometer what direction my next turn is going to be, and then there's a bar graph to tell me how far away it is.
Oh shit, that's fancy. My car's way older than that.
And can't remember if it gives me voice prompts too.
Mine will tell me, but I'm talking to my phone, so it's just with whatever on my phone.
Because if I don't connect my phone, then the Google Maps will give you a turn by turn. But when you plug it in, then it turns off some of the features to make you safer.
So if I'll also use the robot if I'm going somewhere and it's traffic or it's just a time of day that I'm not used to driving in, and then I'll say, here's where I am, here's where I'm going, how long is it going to take me to get there, and then depending on where it is and how it is in Tucson, there might there might be 3 ways or 2 ways to get there, and then it'll tell you, this one will take 16 minutes, that one will take 14 minutes, or this one will take 22 miles, and be faster because you got to go on the highway, or this way will take less miles and take longer because you're stopping for all these stoplights. But I'll do that once in a while. Then I'll be like, oh, okay, because now I can get something to eat going this way. And if I go that way, there's no restaurants on the highway. So I'll sometimes, do something like that to figure out which is the more practical way to go.
I will lean towards whatever route is easier to navigate, whether it's quicker or not. But it tends to be the quicker also. Is if it's faster, but there's a whole bunch of turns you have to do, go this way, that way, go through here, go over there, then I'll kind of shy away from that to limit potential problems.
Tucson is basically a big highway that goes from north to west or east, I guess, and then another one that goes south to Mexico, and they kind of meet up a little bit south of town. So everything is either drive, through a million stoplights and stop signs and housing and all kinds of crap because it's all side street, or what do you call it, surface streets, or get your ass to the highway, get across town, and then snake off the highway to wherever you're trying to go. So it's usually a debate between that, fart around trying to get through traffic, or is it worth getting on the highway? And since Google knows how many people are on the highway and how many people are in town, that'll give you a pretty accurate idea of which one's smart or weird though, or whatever. But it could be 8 miles difference because I got to go drive all the way to the highway and then drive maybe way past where I'm going and come back or something. But it's way faster.
For in town around here, I try to avoid, like if I go up to Olympia, I can get there on the back roads or take the highway, and depending on how close to Olympia or which, if I'm going to the east side or west side, I'll take the back roads, and it's a like a 5-minute difference, but just to avoid the highway, because it's I-5 where all the traffic coming up from, all the trucks and all the traffic from Oregon come up through here.
Trucks with a shit ton of logs on them or something else?
No, just something else. Just your regular tractor trailers. There are logging trucks that come up because there's a port in Olympia. So logging trucks will go up there to ship out the logs.
When I took a trip up to Canada this one time, there was I've been to places where there's a shit ton of old logs in the water, where they just store them in the water.
Yeah.
I guess they put tags on them, I guess, to keep track of who's what. But then some other boat will come up, I guess, and grab them and put them on with a big robot arm. But I've seen where it's like, looks like a big log jam. Well, literally a log jam of shit ton of logs just clogging up the water. Because everybody, that's where they store them or whatever. It's easier than putting them on land.
Well, that's what
it does something for them. Maybe they need to keep them soaking. I have no idea why they do it.
I know back in the 80s, Japan was buying up lumber, and they would sink them into the mud to preserve them.
Oh, really? I knew a little bit about that stuff back in the day because cousin had some land, so he would walk us around and show us, like, I've seen redwoods before, but the ones in Canada, it's different when somebody owns it and they're showing you their own tree and stuff. But yeah, like one tree could finance a lot of stuff. Like you could buy a chunk of land, sell 2 trees, and build a house with the 2 trees. Not just with the wood, but like sell the trees and have a shit ton of money and buy a house.
Well, especially if it's straight, nice straight trees.
Well, nowadays, gay wood is also highly sought after.
But yeah, that's back in the old days, the log flumes, they basically make an artificial river down a chute. That's how they transport the logs out to the river or the bay, so they could transport them. I took forestry in high school. We had a forestry class in high school.
Oh, okay. I did some stuff that was adjacent to it, but never paid any attention to it or did anything with forestry.
And it was a good class because learned how to estimate height of a tree or the board foot within the tree, how much wood you can get out of it, and how to read plot maps. So you find a property, the northwest corner or the northwest corner of plot, whatever, which was good to know. Reading compass directions and all that. And then, how to identify trees, which I've forgotten most of it.
Probably a chunk of it is how to know which ones to leave there.
Yeah, we went over like selective cuts, clear cuts. All kinds of stuff like that. It was fun. And then, like, part of the class, we'd just go out in the woods on our own. Buddy and I would just grab a couple of machetes out of the locker and then go walk around the woods for a half hour, 40 minutes.
We did a little bit of kind of understanding trees and whatnot in firefighting when you go to learn how to fight forest fires.
Yeah.
They teach a little bit, but nothing like how to grow them. Just mainly, where you're going to find dead stuff mainly, and what kind of trees hang out with other kind of trees kind of shit.
We also had an animal husbandry class, which I didn't take. And it was kind of fun. I TA'd for the agricultural department in our high school, which meant I got to drive the truck during school, go out, get the chains for the chainsaws sharpened, go down. We had a school farm. So I'd go out to the school farm, do stuff, and then we also, the department was in charge of filling the soda machines at school. So I'd go around and fill the soda machines too.
It's the weirdest thing. There's no quarters in there again today. I don't know what happened.
Well, there was one day where I had taken some pigs down to the school farm and they had crapped all over the back of the truck. But I also had to take some sodas down to the pool. We had a Olympic-sized pool at our high school, and the sodas had fallen over into the pig crap. So when I got down to the pool, I grabbed some shirts from the lost and found, and wiped off the soda cans, and then loaded the machine. So as far as I know, nobody got sick.
Oh man.
Vulcan Rebel said machetes and school lockers. Think about how things have changed. Yeah, we did axe throwing, and we didn't do the I can't even think of the name of where the two guys on the logs try and knock each other off by spinning the log. We didn't have water. It was just they had like 4x4s set in the ground, and then you roll the log back and forth. Learned how to use the climbing spikes.
They would have that fucking log at summer camp. So I've done that log. Well, I've tried to do that log. There's no way to successfully do it unless you're some sort of gymnast or some shit. I've stood on it before, but I immediately fall off like everybody else when somebody else is fucking with you on it. But we had a big giant one that was, I don't know, it was kind of sitting there at the one part of the kind of swimming area.
Mr. Bob said shotguns and rifles on Easy Rider rifle racks and pickup trucks on school parking lot. Those days are long gone.
Look at what happened if Red Dawn didn't have that situation. So, Gizzard, about the goals thing, did anybody go to any of the, what do you call them, conferences or seminars or whatever they were, talks? Well, of course, minus the people that were in them. They went to.
I went to a Stop the Bleed training Saturday morning. That's the only one I went to. Clover was in a couple. Ghost was.
You didn't go see Mark Smith yelling information at people from the Four Boxes Diner? He was there.
I watched pretty much all 8 hours of the stream from both days. At least I had it on. I wasn't like sitting here scrutinizing it, and I definitely walked away when people I didn't like were on. But I was just wondering, because what they didn't do is pan around and show the room at all. every once in a while, if it was something where there was questions, you could kind of see behind the person who was asking the question, but you'd only see like, the chair or two behind them. And if there was somebody in it or not, that didn't really indicate how many other people or even how big the room was. Where was that stuff? Like somewhere else, like off site, or was it like right there?
No, it's upstairs.
Oh, like in a separate floor?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like it's shot where they have those conference rooms up by the media room.
Yeah.
Is this a what do they call that? Is this a convention center? Or is
Yes.
this like a sports thing?
It's a convention center.
Is it on the school or is it something separate?
It's separate.
Because isn't that like the town is all the school mostly?
Yeah, this is close to where they had the World's Fair back in 1982.
Oh,
They
really?
had a
That's
park
that,
back there, and they built that big old,
that thing.
they call it the Sun Sphere.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Did
it's
you
right,
go to that
it's right. No, but it's right next door to it.
I think I went to that World's Fair. What year was it? 80?
82.
I think I got taken to it. I wouldn't have been paying much attention back then, but I think I've been there. Or maybe I just remember seeing that dang Sun Sphere so much on TV because that was a big deal, wasn't it? Or did something happen there?
Not that I know of. It's pretty cool looking though. From the
Maybe
ground.
there's a movie where they used that. Either there was a movie where a murder happened there, or there was a murder during the World's Fair in that Sun Sphere.
I don't know. But it is a real pretty area.
I think there's a Simpson episode where they stored wigs in them. Get it?
That is one. Maybe that is what I'm thinking, like some kind of mystery to the Sun Sphere or whatever. I'm looking on Wikipedia. That'll tell us. It costs the equivalent of during the fair, it costs $2 to take the elevator to the deck. Its original design was supposed to have a diameter of 86 feet. How big is it?
I don't know.
Does it tell us? Why is it? It is a 75-foot sphere. Oh no, it's different than the 86. Big whoop. But anyway, it was supposed to be 86.5 feet to be symbolically the 865,000 miles of the sun's diameter. So, yeah, I think I would have splurged and made it an extra 17 foot bigger to make it the same as the sun, but it seems like a cheap way to go. 24 karat gold dust on the windows to give it the color. It weighs 600 tons. 7 stories. Did you go up there or go in there over there?
No.
You get any pictures of it or anything? Was this part of that, like this, or was this just near it? I mean, the convention center is part of that fair, or is it just near there?
It's near it.
Oh, it says Longside's official convention center and adjacent to the campus.
I do have a picture if you want me to share it.
I think everybody's interested now.
Hold on just a minute here. Hold on just a doggone minute.
Oh, there's a restaurant up there.
There you go.
Oh, it's gonna be. Oh, okay. Yeah, you were standing right next to it. That's you just taking a picture of it?
Yeah, from the road, but the convention
I mean,
center's
right there.
right here, so yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Oh, there is an observation deck up there. It says at level 4, whatever that means. Oh, no. And then the 5th floor was open, and then yeah, the thing is open for $5. You can go up there. You missed out.
trying to see if there's anybody up there gawking at us, but it's. Yeah, this is where we walked into the center, so yeah, it's literally right next door.
The wig sphere. They call it the Lord's Golf Tee. Yep, once you say that, you can't unsee that. So I imagine Toast had like it.
Well, Gary, are you still taking movie suggestions, or are you
Sure.
still filled up?
Sure.
Swiss Army Man.
Never
Yeah,
heard of that one.
Sorry, man.
Daniel Radcliffe is in it. The Harry Potter.
Mhm.
It's an independent movie, and I'll guarantee it's one that the hens have not seen. I liked it. It's a little different.
Write that down. Yeah, I actually saw a movie this past weekend
Ooh, what'd you
with the
watch?
hens that I'd never seen. Deadpool.
Oh,
Did
you
you
like
did
it?
you like it?
I did.
I liked it.
Wasn't at all as I was expecting. It's very funny.
I liked both of them. I thought the first one was better, but I
There's
liked the
another
second
one
one too.
There's another one now. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come out on a streaming service, and then I'll watch it.
I don't remember if I think I probably started watching this movie and then I couldn't handle it and I quit watching it.
Like I said, I did like it. It's different, and as it is an independent movie, it's not a big Hollywood production.
You gonna watch Twister? Or Twister?
I don't know.
What do you feel about Watchmen?
I was disappointed by it.
They have a cartoon version of it, which is essentially just a cartoon of the movie. So I haven't read it or nothing.
I never read any of the comic books, and I saw a lot of complaints from people who have read the comic books. I watched the movie.
Did you watch that one, Gizzard?
No,
Or have interest to?
don't know anything about it.
It's a comic book movie, but not just a mainstream comic, like a graphic novel that came out, I think, in the 80s. Anyway, they just made a cartoon version of the movie that came out a long time ago. And it's not that good. That's why I was wondering if anybody... You'd have to be like a real good fan of Watchmen, I think, to want to watch the cartoon version. So what about Alien Romulus? You going to watch that one?
I'm not.
I watched that one. It was... I'm not going to try to spoil it, but it was very... what do they call that when they do stuff to make fans of the franchise happy? They did a lot of that.
Oh, fan service.
Yeah. What about this movie called Jackpot, where you win the lottery and everybody has to kill you, and then whoever kills you wins the money, and if you live, then you keep the money.
Haven't heard of it.
It's some comedian. She might be from YouTube, and then a wrestler who's been in some movies. So it's like a comedy and like a love story mainly. What about the last one would be?
Oh God, no! I will not watch that. I cannot stand Aquafina,
Yeah,
the
that
chick you're talking about.
comedy, whatever of hers.
That
Like,
water is gross.
Huh?
Aquafina, that water is gross.
Well, that too.
then the last one is The Union with Marky Mark and Storm. Or Catwoman, I guess you could say.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
I,
It's supposedly like there's the CIA and there's all these other things, but the Union is the one that does really all the work, and the other ones just take the credit. So they're like super spies, but they're also just all the like foremen and welders and dock workers, but they're the ones that are the real secret agents, and they're doing all the work. So it's kind of like Wick, where there's this whole criminal underworld out of nowhere that everybody's supposed to know about, but nobody knows about. Except that in this one, the Union is like the CIA, except they're all these like waiters and staff and attendants and stuff that are doing like all the secret agent stuff. I don't know, made by Netflix or somebody, so
oh,
it's like all super high budget.
I hadn't heard of it.
It's one of these like formulas where they're like, we got a bunch of money, so let's immediately go to Europe where we're gonna be able to, get more bang for our buck, and then let's make at least a half to 3/4 of the movie car chases in Europe. I'm so sick of seeing car chases in Europe that if I never see one again, I'll be fine.
That's one thing that the Europeans have always done really well, are car chases.
I don't know about like they definitely don't care about throwing cars off of cliffs and into water. Like I'm like watching this thing going. I thought everybody in this movie gives a shit about the environment so hard. Why do they keep throwing cars into the water? Like in Greece and wherever the hell they are, Italy or whatever. Like just this pristine like seashore in Italy. Throw a car off of it. Like you wouldn't be doing that in the United States. There's probably a reason you're not able to do that in California because you can't go doing that. Like you can go do it in Italy though, I guess. But
did you ever see the movie Ronin with the De Niro?
Oh yeah.
That has one of the best car chases in it.
I agree. Like I get it. The Transporter. Like you watch those movies?
I haven't.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Dude, especially if you like European car chase. Have you seen that one, Gizzard, or Barbecue? The Transporter movie? That bald guy?
Nope.
Statham.
Yeah, he's good. It's like not James Bond, because it's like James Bond's butler or whatever, kind of. Like, so it's just some guy who did something at one point. They don't really talk about it. They just allude to the fact that he's competent. He's done some things. And he's got this car. And then I forget what happens. Like some girl comes along and she's in trouble and he's just minding his business, but then he's taken her somewhere. I forget this plot anymore. But essentially it's not really like, it's kind of like James Bond, but it's 100% just driving a car. Like he's driving the girl somewhere and everybody's trying to kill him. So it's just, and it's nonstop. You've seen any of the guy's other movies? Like he tends to make movies that are just like, they start and then bam, it's just nonstop adrenaline all the way to the end of the movie. That's where he started doing those. At least that's the first ones I remember. They're pretty good. And there's like 3 of them. Maybe the first couple are okay. There's a girl in the second or third one that has 2 Glocks, and she has like a bunch of magazines on her back. You never seen this? So she walks around with like hardly any clothes on, like bikini top type of thing, and then she's got this thing on. It's like straps and harness type of thing, and it just puts all these magazines on her back, like kind of like ribs. Like there's magazines butt to butt or floor plate to floor going on her back. So she'd run out of mags, release them, and then just swing her arms behind her back, and then magically smashes them right into the mag wells.
There's another movie where a chick does that.
Well, there's Ultraviolet does that quite a bit, but she uses holographic weaponry. It makes more sense because it's real. It's like electronic. I don't know. She's a vampire in that one. There's
I don't think it was Ultraviolet.
There could be another one though.
Can't think, because I remember that where she'd drop her mags and then her arms would go back.
Like a really skinny Europe girl. I don't know what to call her, Scandinavian maybe or something. But anyway, so that's in one of the transporters. She's the bad guy or something in one of the transporters. Dang, yeah. If you like car chase movies, I definitely recommend the Transporter then. You should be able to get that anywhere. That's probably on YouTube. That's like from the 90s or something. I think that's where that guy came from. Like that was his first movies.
Who's Statham? No,
Mhm.
he was in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah, but this is that old. I don't know.
This was before the Transporter.
Okay, I'm gonna look. Because yeah, you're probably right, but I'm just saying it seems like a long time. What's her last name? S-T-A? Yeah. You just look at his IMDb and it'll tell you what order he did everything in. Yeah, Wikipedia probably would too. Well, let's see. No, that was his first big movie, probably Lock, Stock, and Barrels, 98. And then Snatch. Ghosts of Mars. I think I remember that one being an interesting one. But I don't think I knew who he was. And then the Transporter. Oh, he was in the one with what's his face? Jet Li in 2001. So I probably would have seen him in that. So yeah, he was already around before Transporter. And then he was in The Italian Job. Do you like that movie? You seen that one?
I
It's with those little kids.
did. I think I liked the original better.
The original. Oh, is that
Yeah.
like from the 60s or something?
Yeah, Michael Caine was in the original. They drive the original minis in it.
I'm gonna have to watch them. Go see if I
Or
can.
the remake, they drive the newer mini.
Is it the same name? The Italian Job?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a huge Mark Wahlberg fan.
Yeah, me either. If he ain't the main point in the movie, I'm okay. But if he's like the main guy in the movie, then it's pretty tough sometimes. But there was a lot of people in the 2003 version of Italian Job. But I can watch the other one. I just found the other one, so I'll watch that one. I think I've seen it, but I'll watch that one. It's probably better.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I think I remember liking the original more than the remake.
Have you seen The Tomorrow Job? It's from last year.
No.
A team of thieves use a drug that allows them to trade consciousnesses with their future selves in order to steal tomorrow's. And then it gets really complicated. It's like a time travel kind of thing, but you're only, think you're able to be yourself tomorrow type of thing for a limited amount of time.
It doesn't sound like one that I would have watched.
Oh, okay. I don't know why that came out. Oh, probably because of the job part. So then that guy was in The Mechanic. Statham was in The Mechanic, like a remake of The Good Mechanic.
Yeah, I didn't watch it because I liked the original so much.
Yeah, it's horrible. In the wrong city and stuff. I haven't really seen that many of this guy's movies. I thought I would seen a bunch of his movies, but there's like a ton of them I haven't seen. I think I've seen The Beekeeper. That one's new.
I don't know because Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Then the other Guy Ritchie one that you said.
Ghosts of
Snatch.
Mars? Oh,
No,
Snatch.
Snatch. And then
Have you seen Ghosts of Mars?
No.
That's like it's a train, and there's like police or something on a train, and it's like there's a mining towns on Mars that are connected by this train, and there's police on the train, and then essentially I don't give the whole plot away, but it's kind of like The Thing, except if it was on Mars and there's a train. And then you know who else is in it? Starbucks, the girl Starbucks. I think
I'm sorry. There's only one Starbuck. That's Dirk Benedict.
I'm just saying I'm pretty sure she's in it. And then the one, you haven't seen the one with Jackie Lee?
I did see that. I liked it.
So I guess
nobody's bitch.
He's the cop, I'm guessing, in that one, looking for him. And then the transporter comes along. Anyway. Collateral? I didn't remember he's in Collateral. Did you seen Tom Cruise Collateral?
No.
Oh, really? Anybody? Gizzard? Barbecue? Anyone? That one's from 2004.
Nope.
Tom Cruise movie called Collateral. That one was a big deal because he's a Scientologist, and he went to Front Sight to learn how to shoot for that. This was in 2004, remember? So the beginning of the internet, rumoring and talking about each everything. So remember how Wick was a big deal because he went to learn how to shoot? Well, Tom Cruise went and learned how to shoot so that he could be in Collateral. So that's the movie where he's... Oh, man, who's that comedian? There's a comedian that's the taxi driver, and then Tom Cruise hires him for the night, and he goes around murdering people in LA.
Jamie Foxx.
And then, anyway, so he shoots people all in like a style, and everybody was like, oh my goodness, like, where did he learn how to shoot like this? And then, Front Sight.
I've seen clips of it on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things they'll show clips of like a couple of the alley scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
Essentially, he's like a hitman. He hires the cab, and he goes around, and then eventually like a dead body falls on the cab, and the guy figures out that he's going around killing everybody. And then I think he hears on the news, like, all these people have died. And he's like, well, I've been at all these addresses. But I guess he was probably a cop if Statham was in that movie, because I don't remember him being, unless he got killed, he might have been a bad guy or something. But he wasn't a key player in that movie or anything. But anyway, he goes on to do all kinds of movies that I've never seen. I kind of remember, but I wonder how much money you make in all these movies. He must have like $1 zillion, dude.
I don't know. Well, I think we'll wrap her up here.
What you mean before we do the bracket? Like we can do the bracket off air, or
no? It turns out that during the bracket we did on Sunday, there was a minor leak, so we have to wait for the testing to come back to make sure there is no radiation released. It doesn't look like there has been, but won't know for sure until all the testing's done and
so
we get
that's
all the data.
Glowing stuff that was all around our feet that we were concerned about.
Yeah, you should be okay. If your hair hasn't fallen out yet, you should be okay.
I ate some, and I just don't have hair to begin with. So how am I going to tell?
Yeah, I was dipping my chips in it. You said it was good.
Oh. But
I thought it was guacamole.
We'll just have to monitor the situation. It should be okay. But Gary, Gary,
chat not to be in.
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to plug?
Sure. Foul Territory is returning, coming this Friday at 9 p.m. Central, right here on the Gizzard Gary channel. Hopefully everybody can be there.
Well, right here is the DM Foss channel.
Well, that's true. On my channel, how about that?
Just want to make sure there's no confusion.
No confusion. That's true. Well, thanks for having me, buddy.
That might be symptoms of radiation poisoning. So,
Yeah, I wasn't even there.
G-Webs, anything you want to plug? You got anything coming up? Are you going to whatnot anytime soon?
I'm getting really closer. I had to do a couple of things before I could get to that point, and now I'm getting to that point. But no. So I'll plug Brooks' thing on Saturday. It's the only thing that happens on a consistent basis to help us learn how to talk about mental health awareness, get more comfortable with it. So worth checking out if you're able, or at least promoting it if you're able, because she's fighting the uphill battle with the word suicide. Every time she brings that up, or every time I bring it up, it'll ding the channel it's on. So appreciate you letting me plug it, and anybody that helps her out is much appreciated. It's really the way that we end this whole debate, is get rid of that. The numbers go down tremendously, and we show that we're actually doing something for the big picture. And we do.
Brooke Cheney's suicide prevention chat.
Yep.
Is it on a Great Start or Brooke Cheney?
No, it's called a Great Start Shooting School. If DJ was here, he would drop a link. There's plenty of them out there. You can find it. Just type in a Great Start Shooting School.
She's an awesome lady. Guns and Barbecue. Anything you want to plug? Anything you got coming up?
Filmed a video last night of putting together the one Tigris plate carrier hanger. You got a little bit of other things to do with that video, like getting it mounted on the wall, stuff like that, to show what the finished product looks like. But maybe by the end of the year, that one will come out, maybe by middle of next year. I mean, let's not try and fool anybody here. But school will be resuming here soon for the Rugrats, and when that happens, I do plan on firing up a new live show. So here in a few Thursdays, I will be going live again.
Sweet.
Yes. As always, thank you for the invite, Foss. It's a great time. Thank you for hosting, and I'm out of here.
Well, thanks for stopping by. And I put out a short today. I didn't mean to put it out today. I uploaded it from my phone, and apparently if you do a short from your phone, you can't schedule it. So I put out a short today about looking at the polymer. I bought some of the polymer 556. So probably mess around with that a little bit. I only bought 2 boxes because it's $24 for 20 rounds. The 308 is like $50 for 20 rounds, but I don't know. I'm kind of curious about it. So might pull some apart, take a look at it closer. And just want to say thank you to everybody that was in the side chat, chatting it up. And if you were watching, didn't say anything, I appreciate you too. Don't be afraid to speak up. And let me know you're out there. If you watch this in replay, leave a comment. Whatever we talk about, agree with, disagree with, what's your favorite candy? I read all the comments, and they are always appreciated. So other than that, I hope everyone has a good rest of the night and go do something good.